Chilling Scares video, 6 most disturbing things found in basements.
This first discovery happened to multiple students of Ohio State University back in September of 2013. The group of students only recently started leasing an off-campus house close to the school, and it was in this house where they would make a disturbing find in the basement. Only a month after moving in, the students would start to notice small yet strange occurrences in the house. Things like cupboards, their oven, and even their microwave being left open.
That's just a bunch of dudes living in an apartment.
The house was 3 stories, with 5 students on the first floor and 10 others on the second and third, so obviously it was difficult to keep track of everyone. But when they realized none of them were responsible, they decided to search the house, more specifically the basement. What they found was a locked door, which they had originally assumed was a utility closet that the landlord wanted to be.
Oh my god, was there somebody living in their fucking house? Like somebody crashing, like they broke in, somebody crashing on a cot.
And after calling the landlord about it, they were informed this wasn't the case. The door should not have been locked for any reason. The landlord would end up sending a maintenance worker to check it out, and after breaking down the door, a room that was clearly being lived in was revealed. The room had framed photos and school textbooks scattered around. The students would change all the locks that night and leave a note for whoever was living in the room saying to call them. The man would actually end up calling the number and later be removed from the household.
What the fuck was he doing though? They never they lived in that house for months and they never saw him, but he wasn't like a homeless man that was like squatting. He was just a college student living in their house. How does that even how is that like a mix up?
It turns out the guy was a cousin to one of the house's previous residents, which is how he got a key in the first place.
Oh, and he just never left.
One of the students even recalled running into the man in the basement at one point earlier in the month and asking who he was, but only to be met with a very vague answer. Ultimately, the students would blame the leasing company of the home for the incident, as they were responsible for failing to change the locks from the year before. In June of 2020, a man named Christopher Town would make a life-threatening discovery while helping his friend move furniture in his basement.
Bro, I'd be using that shit to get free rent. They didn't change the locks. I'd be like, bro, you're making me pay rent. We got a fucking squatter living in the house.
Unknown to both of them at the time was the fact that the house itself was built over a well. And so at one point, when Christopher was making his way across the room, the floorboards just underneath him would snap, which caused him to fall the 25-foot drop to the bottom.
Wait, what? They didn't fill in the well with concrete? They just fucking put a wooden board over the stone circle of the well and went, yeah, that's probably good. Just build around it. Do you know how scary? I would think I no-clipped into the back rooms. If you fell 25 feet into a well, yeah, there's probably water at the bottom. You're probably going to be okay. But I imagine moving furniture and you just go, boom, and you're just falling like, what is that? What is 25 feet? 3 stories? 3.5 stories?
Floorboards just underneath him would snap, which caused him to fall the 25-foot drop to the bottom. Fortunately, there was water at the bottom to break his fall, though this meant Christopher would have to use the rocks on the wall to hold his head above the water while he waited for the local fire department to arrive. And to make things worse, the water itself was at an extremely low temperature. Though, after only a few minutes, the fire department was able to successfully get Christopher out using a hauling system. And other than almost getting hypothermia...
What dumbass built this house? Why did they not fill in the well?
Christopher would make it out unhurt. Mike Carroll was a man who lived in a small house in Lake Grove, New York.
Zach Bridges 09 says, not scary. It's disturbing, not scary. It's a scary thing if it happened to you. That's not scary. I would have tanked that. Actually, for me, Zach Bridges 09, I probably would have just climbed up the rock wall. Zach Bridges, that's me. I probably would just maneuver out of that because that's not scary for me.
Which was the same house he had grown up in. Mike was 57 at the time, and only a few months prior had purchased the house. Though, while he was in the basement, Mike would make a disturbing discovery. He would find a full set of human bones buried under some dirt.
That's not scary. For me, Zach Bridges 09, I would say if I found a human remains in my basement, I'd probably just throw them in the trash can and then go back to playing my video games for the night. For me, I'm the basher. Yeah, for me, my nickname in high school is the Basher because I bash people's heads in for fun. So...
What makes this find so disturbing is the fact that the bones match the DNA of his father.
What?
Mike was only 8 months old.
Wait. Oh my God, did his mom kill his dad?
When Mike was only 8 months old, his father was said to have gone missing. And
oh my God, his mom killed his dad.
throughout his childhood, he would question his mother about this. But each time he was given a different story. So, of course, this made Mike want to find out for himself what had really happened to his father. Which is what gave him motivation to buy his childhood house in the first place. The newly found bones would obviously cause blame for the disappearance to be shifted onto his mother, though she had unfortunately passed away 20 years prior.
Bro. Nah, that would be like an unsolved mystery. And you can't even ask, like, hey, did you kill him? If so, why? Not unsolved, it was for real the mom. Yeah, I don't know if a stranger would have killed his dad and then shoved him in their floorboards. That's like Dexter. No, Dexter's actually more meticulous than that. You would not find the body if it was Dexter.
In 2016, an appliance repairman was responding to a call from house owner Charles Price. Though, while the repairman was working in the basement, he would claim to have noticed something moving in a covered container in a back corner. Curious, the repairman would lift off the cover and be met by a 200-pound alligator. But before running, the repairman would capture multiple pictures for proof to show the police. It turns out the house owner had the alligator for more than 20 years and was supposedly using it to help him with the house's mouse infestation.
Get a cat! That's your solution when you have... Yeah, I got a rat problem. Let me get a 7-foot alligator to just fucking keep in my house. I also don't... I truly don't believe that an alligator could kill rats. I think it might scare them off. I don't think it's going to catch it.
He would illegally keep the creature in a cage in his basement and claimed to occasionally take him out into his backyard. Shortly after the repairman made the report, the alligator was confiscated by local animal control and later released into a better environment.
I'm surprised they released it. I would have assumed they like euthanized it.
This discovery was posted to Reddit by an account under the name Daily Dish. In the post, the Redditor explains how a few years ago,
Bro said L snitch. What are you supposed to do? Just inherit the alligator because you bought the house? And now that's your problem?
they shared a house with some friends, and in the first few months of living in the house, they hadn't spent much time in the basement. The basement was half finished, with the other half being a sort of dirt crawl space that extended under the porch of the house.
Yo, this is the best vibe at a friend's house. Like, everybody has a friend that has a basement with, like, a very cold concrete floor. And then, like, a big-ass TV screen where they play video games. Oh my God.
The house. They went on to explain how one night they decided to
It's like 40 degrees.
explore it more thoroughly. And after grabbing a flashlight, they discovered a black canvas duffel bag in the very back of the dirt crawl space. Disturbingly, in the duffel bag were 2 black ski masks, a hunting knife, and a single black leather glove.
Yeah, they were killing people. Okay, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. You buy a new house. Okay. Owner has either died or let's just say the owner died, right? And you buy the house from the government or their family member the house was willed to. You move in. You've been there for like 3 months. One day, there's like a crack in one of the walls, right? You end up seeing that it's like a false floor, false wall situation. Open it up. Duffel bag full of $100,000 US, but it's covered in blood. What do you do? Do you keep it? Do you keep it? And if you keep it, how are you going to keep that? How are you going to cash that money in? I'm going to put it in the washing machine. That would be hilarious to see one of my chatters be like, dude, I just found $100K in a duffel bag. Just throw it in the washing machine with some Tide Pods. Just be like, yeah, this will do it. This will clean it up.
The Redditor went on to explain how they decided to call the non-emergency police number and report the discovery, though the police weren't interested, and therefore the house owners decided to set fire to everything but the hunting knife. Whether that bag
set fire to it, if the police didn't give a shit, I would have kept it.
Had any relation to any sort of criminal activity is still unknown to this day.
I mean, why else do you have a ski? What are other purposes for ski masks? And don't say skiing, because I have never seen somebody wear a ski mask skiing. Do people ski mask? Do people actually wear those skiing? Maybe ones that have like just like the full eye slit and no mouth coverage. Like people wear ski masks like this, where it covers your full mouth and then it's just like your eyes where the ski goggles are. Not even those get used. I mean, yeah, rarely, but I've seen people have them.
This next discovery comes from a guy who moved into a studio apartment in England. Claimed to have moved into the apartment without even viewing the place. And on arrival, he would discover something pretty disturbing.
So here's the apartment I moved into last week. It's pretty small, pretty nice. Rent was pretty cheap, so I moved in without even viewing the place. And then when I got here, I realized why the rent was so cheap.
The guy then goes on to give a tour of the apartment, and after a while, this sort of trapdoor on the floor can be seen.
Got a bathroom, pretty standard.
There's just a fucking hatch. Bro, I would just put cinder blocks on top of that shit. If I couldn't open it, I would just I'd put like a couch on top. Even if it's blocking the bathroom, I'd just shift something there so people couldn't get in. Oh, God.
What's this? That's definitely a handle. So I figured
you're not going to open it?
A bit of underfloor storage. So let's lift this up.
Yeah, it's just storage space.
Looks
Ooh.
like it goes in pretty deep.
Featured directly under this guy's apartment is some sort of dungeon-looking basement.
Oh my God, I would have to build up courage to go down there. I would have to, that would be like, I'm pep talking. I'm giving myself a pep talk, walking back and forth. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Maybe if I put my phone on a stick. That would be worse though. I don't know. Imagine putting your phone on a stick and like recording and then you reel it back in and you're watching the recording and there's just a guy just like clearly trying to hide.
And steps into the dungeon.
Is he doing this alone, bro?
Coming down.
Oh, fuck
You
no.
can see a corridor going off straight to the front. Interesting graffiti on the wall.
Yo, this could be the new Goon Cave, though.
Down here, this place is strange. There's like a brick seat or bed.
Compared to the rest of the apartment, the area itself is pretty big, featuring many large rooms and corridors.
Why is this not added into the square footage?
What exactly this area was used for is unclear. Way back in 2002,
it's too small of a space to actually use for anything.
a homeowner in Jefferson County, Wisconsin, found out that the foundation of her house was deteriorating.
Yeah, that'd be a great house to have, and you make a bet with your friends that whoever loses a game has to stay down there for the night. Oh my God, that would be horrible. You give them a sleeping bag, you're like, yeah, you gotta sleep down here.
And so in November, she would
See you in 12 hours. You shut the hatch.
apply for a loan to repair the foundation. But around 2 weeks later, while away at work, she would get a call from the workers hired to do the repair, explaining how they came across a gruesome discovery. They explained that as they started to remove the soil from the foundation wall in her basement, they had unearthed the full skeletal remains of a body.
What?
The skeleton was determined to be that of a 50-year-old male. Most disturbingly, though, is the fact that after further inspection, it was determined that the house had been built right on top of an ancient burial ground that's estimated to be up to 170 years old. Experts believe that
Oh, yeah, that shit's haunted. Leave.
in all likelihood, hundreds more skeletons are within a close proximity to the one
Oh my God, hell no.
found.
You're literally just built on top of like a graveyard.
This discovery would ultimately put a stop to the house's renovation altogether.
I feel like they would have to stop. I feel like that house would have to go off the market. Nobody would buy that. Literally nobody would buy that. You would sell it for dirt cheap.
In January of 2010, Wally and Linda DeForest would move into their new home in Goshen, Indiana. Though, only a week after moving in, the couple would discover a live torpedo in their basement, something they obviously weren't aware of beforehand.
Live torpedo in the basement. You do one of those soda bottle tests where you shake it and then chuck it in the air. Live torpedo! Time to play hot potato. Whoop! Just start throwing it.
Both of them noted how old the thing looked, but still obviously active. There had been no drill holes to indicate it had been disarmed. The couple would end up calling the police, who would send out a bomb squad to extract the torpedo from the property's basement. And luckily they...
Yeah, I'm a dumbass. I'd probably just pick that shit up. Not even lying. I'd probably pick that shit up. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna like chuck it on the ground. I would definitely bring it out on the backyard, put it on the grass, and then I'd be like, all right, I brought it outside for you guys.
But
the bomb, there's a guy in full bomb squad gear, and he's just like, wait, you just picked that up with your bare hands? I'd be like, yeah. Dude, this could blow up at any minute.
considering the squad did confirm the explosive was still active upon arrival, the whole situation just makes you think how much worse things could have really gone.
That was a fun video. I enjoyed that. All right.